Welcome, guys. Today I'm gonna talk about the differences between the function scanf and the function fgets. And as you can see here, in both cases they do the same thing. In the first case, use fget. So basically, what I do is I have a name which is 32 characters in length, and the command prompts for, or the program prompts for your name, and basically scans that name, or takes that as an input. So both do the exact same thing. So you might wonder, what's the difference between fgets and scanf? Okay, so the first aspect is that for scanf, it can cause buffer overflows, or it may override the buffers. What I mean by that is if you have say, if in this case you have a 32 character name, and say you input something like 60 character name, then what will happen is that random occurs, like bus error or segmentation fault or something like that, or random errors will occur. That's my point. So the idea is that scanf causes buffer overflow and causes the program to crash as soon as you enter something that's above the limit. On the other hand, the function fgets takes as one of its input the actual size, in this case 32. So even if you input, say, like a 64 character name, or like a huge name, long name basically, the program does not crash. So that's one advantage that fgets has over scanf. But the disadvantage of fget is that it cannot take in structured data. Scanf can take in particular structured data. You may have like percentage s, percent s, percent 5s, or percentage 5d or whatever, and it can take in a structured data according to what you want. Whereas fgets only takes in a single string, and unstructured data basically. So that's one advantage of scanf that fgets does not have basically. And one of the biggest things is that for scanf, it's delimited by space. So as soon as you enter, for example, I don't know, like if you have a name like Tom Harry, as soon as so say you input Tom Harry as a name, right? And for scanf, what it does is it's delimited by space. So as soon as you input Tom Harry, the name after this scanf, the name only has Tom because it's delimited by space. So it does not recognize the stuff that's after the space. Whereas fgets can take in the entire string, so as in Tom Harry. So that's the idea. So you might be wondering, so which do I actually use? Do I use fgets or do I use scanf? Hold on. Oops. Yeah, so I might be wondering, which do I use? Do I use fgets or scanf? And the general rule is, if you're taking in a structured data, then always use scanf, because for scanf you can use the format specifiers like percentage 5s, percentage 42, or whatever, and then you can take in the structured data according to your needs. This is really important if you're parsing a file and stuff like that, and you're actually taking an input through that way. But if you're taking in an unstructured string, then fgets is the way to go, and you can just use fgets. So that's basically it. And the same thing applies. I thought I would just also highlight this, a really trivial thing, but the puts and printf, similar to the inputs, we also want to examine the output. The puts, what it does is, so say you have a string like welcome. Both these do the same thing, except puts actually appends a new line character at the end of the string. So in that way, it's really structured. So as soon as you say puts welcome, it's going to output welcome, and it's automatically going to append a new line to that. But the disadvantage of puts is that you can't specify. You can't put in format specifiers. What I mean by that is, if you say like welcome, if you want to say the user %s, you can't put that in puts. That's the biggest disadvantage, and you're going to use this a lot, like welcome the username or %z or whatever. If you want to output a number, you can use printf. So the idea is that if you want, puts is really good if you want to make, like, say, a menu in which you just want to put, like, in detail, you want to just, like, lay it all out. And puts in that case is really beneficial if you're just creating, like, a menu, command line menu. On the other hand, if you want to actually print numbers and do some calculations, also print, like, names, numbers, etc., and you want to use format specifiers, then in that case printf is a really good option to do. So that's pretty much it. It's a really trivial thing, but I thought I would just cover it for you guys to know. So yeah, and so basically in this tutorial we examined the different methods concerned with format specifiers such as scanf and printf, and in what situations that would be most appropriate to use them. And we also examined the other aspect of it, other methods actually, like puts and gets, or sorry, puts and fgets rather, and we examined in what situations those methods would be useful in. So hope this tutorial helped you guys, and if you have any questions, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and